What is up, you guys? I hope you're all doing okay today. For those of you that are new here, my name is Katrina and welcome to my channel. I have been posting study abroad videos chronicling my adventures here in England for the past few weeks, and I just submitted my very last final yesterday. So that is the end of my junior year of college and also my semester abroad, which is absolutely crazy to think about because it feels just like yesterday. I landed in London and now I'm here getting ready to go home in 9 days, which is both exciting and really sad. Because my study abroad experience is ending, I figured it would be appropriate for me to film a Q&A of questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. Thank you so much to everybody who sent me a question because I don't get them very often. If you want to follow me on Instagram, make sure to click the link in my down bar. You can look at my feed here. I'm really proud of it right now. So let's get into the video. So the first question I'm going to answer is, when should people start planning for study abroad? And I would say you should start planning as soon as possible. So the second you decide that you want to study abroad, or even if you're just thinking about it, I would say start looking into classes that you can take, how much money it would cost, what kind of places you want to go to. I could do another video on the whole preparation process for studying abroad, but for me, I'm glad that I started my freshman year looking into programs because I experienced a few road bumps in my application process and I wouldn't have been able to make it here had I not started so early. So regardless of whether your school takes a semester to process applications or the process takes a whole year, I would definitely suggest looking into it as soon as you can to make the most of the experience. The next question I'm going to answer is, how much should you budget and what are some tips for saving money while abroad? And I'm not going to lie, studying abroad is really expensive. The way I approached it in the beginning is just I saved up as much money as I possibly could. I took up a job in between the fall semester and my semester going abroad so that I can earn some extra cash. And my internship from last summer, pretty much all of that money went to my experiences here so that I could travel as much as I did and eat out and things like that. When it comes to budgeting, in your home city, I would definitely say avoid going out all the time to save money. Try not to buy unnecessary things. One, because you won't fit them in your suitcase, which is an issue I'm having now, and two, because you'll save up money for when you want to go places. And when you're traveling, I would recommend using hostels, budget airlines like Ryanair and things like that. Probably going to be your best friend when you're looking to travel budget friendly. It's going to be different for everybody, so you just have to do what's best for you and just save, 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 save. That is the one tip I could give it. So the next question is, what are the biggest cultural differences between the US and the UK? And I did experience a bit of culture shock when I came here, believe it or not. When you come from an English-speaking country, you wouldn't think that going to another English-speaking country would be all that different, but the way that they do things here is not the same as it is in the US. And I'm not saying it's bad in any way, it's just different, and it was something I had to get used to. First of all, it was the colloquialisms, like saying toilet instead of bathroom, or chips instead of thick cut fries. But mainly my issues were with the school system. Classes don't encourage participation as much. Lectures are very much lectures, and there's no homework or really any deadlines up until the very end of the semester. So you're largely in charge of the amount that you study and the amount that you get out of the course, which I think is great for people that learn that way and have been trained to learn that way, but it took some getting used to. To go off of that last question, this one is, how did you get used to living so far from home and what was it like adjusting at first? And it was really, really difficult. I go to school back home only 40 minutes from the place I grew up, so being an ocean away from my family was really, really difficult for me to wrap my head around. And I missed being able to share experiences with my family at all times. And just little things like going to Dunkin' and grabbing an iced coffee, or having Chick-fil-A for lunch, or driving in my car. Those are the things that I really missed about being home, and I kind of dwelled on them the first few weeks, which is something I do regret. I wish I spent more time going out and making friends. Those first few weeks would have been a lot more bearable if I had done that instead of what I actually did. if that makes sense. Next question is about travel, which is something that I found a passion for while I was here. I traveled to so many different places and I can't wait to come back to Europe to travel to more. This question is, what has been your favorite way to travel around Europe, like plane, car, bus, or train? And I actually really enjoy flying. For those of you guys that know me in real life, I don't like flying in planes. It makes me anxious, I get stressed out, but when my scenery was changing all the time, when I was going from place to place and not really having like a concrete place to call home, sleeping in hostels and everything, airports were something that were consistent. Like, you knew that you could always find a Starbucks or a bottle of water, or know that you have to go through security and get to your gate and things like that. And that kind of stability was something that I needed to keep me sane while everything was changing around me, because otherwise I would have just gotten confused and maybe given up on traveling, which is sad to think about because I love it so much now. So this next question is, what was your favorite / least favorite part about studying abroad, and would you do it again? And first, to answer the last question, I would definitely do it again. This experience has changed my life completely. I've seen so many places that I've never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be able to see and experience, and I got to meet incredible people, live on my own, and I definitely feel like a changed person, which is probably really cliche to say, and you could throw all the study abroad memes at me in the comments, but it's really true. I feel like I've changed a lot. As for my favorite part, I would say the friends that I've made here. I made a really close group of friends of all international students from people around the world, from Denmark, Australia, and the US, and Germany, and it's been really cool getting to understand other people's cultures from a more personal perspective, and doing things like going to grab coffee with them and stuff really kept me sane when I was missing home. And that brings me to my least favorite part, which was the parts that I got homesick. I didn't think I was going to be as homesick as I was on this trip, and being homesick really got me down sometimes. Cured it by calling Michael or looking at old photos on my Snapchat, but I will say that that was definitely the hardest and my least favorite part of studying abroad. And finally, the last question is, how has your experience changed how you see yourself in the future? And I would say that I'd consider going to school here, for a master's degree. I looked into going to school in Ireland because I just loved it there so much. The atmosphere, specifically in Dublin, was something that was straight up my alley, and I would love to go to school there, so that's something I'm considering. I don't think I'd be able to work or live here really, because my whole family's in the US for the most part, and I would really miss them, and I like being close to them, so I think living here full-time is out of the question. But I'm definitely going to want to come back to England and to Europe. I want to go to Germany and East Europe and go back to France and Italy, and there's so many things that I have left to see that I didn't even think about or were on my radar until this trip, and I'm so glad that they are now, because now I have the opportunity to go. Okay guys, that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching and for following along on my study abroad journey. I'm going to have one more vlog going up chronicling my very last week, which is really sad. Probably going to be a lot of tears, and then I actually don't know what's going to happen with this channel. If you guys want to see other kinds of videos from me, like lifestyle videos, I'm going to be doing an internship this summer, so if you want to see vlogs from that, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!